You could hear the hoofbeats pound as he raced across the ground, and the clatter of the wheels as they spun round and round. And he galloped into Market Street, his badge upon his chest. His name was Ernie, and he drove the fastest milk cart in the West. Now Ernie loved a widow, a lady known as Sue. She lived all alone in Midley Lane at number 22. They said she was too good for him, she was hearty, proud and chic. But Ernie got his cocoa there 3 times every week. They called him Ernie, and he drove the fastest milk cart in the West. She said she'd like to bathe in milk, and he said, all right, sweetheart. And when he finished work one night, he loaded up the cart. He said, you want it pasteurised, 'cause pasteurised is best. She says, Ernie, I'll be happy if it comes up to my chest. Well, that tickled old Ernie, and he drove the fastest milk cart in the West. Now Ernie had a rival, an evil-looking man called Two-Ton Ted from Teddington, and he drove the baker's van. He tempted her with his treacle tarts and his tasty wholemeal bread, and but you seen the size of his hot meat pies, it very near turned her red. She nearly swooned at his macaroon, and he said, now if you treat me right, you'll have hot rolls every morning and crumpets every night. He knew once she sampled his layer cake, he'd have his wicked way. But all Ernie had to offer was a pint of milk a day. Poor old Ernie. And he drove the fastest milk cart in the West. One lunchtime Ted saw Ernie's horse and cart outside her door, and it drove him mad to find it was still there at 4:30. And as he let down from his van, hot blood through his veins did course, and he went across to Ernie's cart, and he didn't have Kicky's horse, whose name was Trigger. And he pulled the fastest milk cart in the West. Now Ernie rushed out into the street, his gold top in his hand. He said, if you want to marry Susie, you'll fight for her like a man. Oh, why don't we play cards for her, he sneeringly replied. And just to make it interesting, we'll have a shilling on the side. Now Ernie dragged him from his van, and beneath the blazing sun, they stood there face to face, and Ted went for his bun. But Ernie was too quick, things didn't go the way Ted planned, and a strawberry-flavoured yoghurt sent it spinning from his hand. Now Susie ran between them and tried to keep them apart, and Ernie pushed her aside in a rock cake caught underneath his heart. And he looked up in pain and surprise at the concrete hardened crust of a stale pork pie caught him in the eye, and Ernie bit the dust. Poor Ernie. And he drove the fastest milk cart in the West. Now Ernie was only 52, he didn't want to die. Now he's going to make deliveries in that milk round in the sky, where the customers are angels and ferocious dogs are banned, and the lifeman's full of fun in that fairy dairy land. But a woman's needs are manifold, and Susie married Ted. But strange things happened on their wedding night as they lay in their bed. Was that the trees a rustling, or the hinges of the gate, or Ernie's ghostly gold tops are rattling in their crates? They won't forget Ernie. And he drove the fastest milk cart in the West.